What's up, people? This is William Jones making videos about leaving religion. The purpose of the videos is to get you to think. Turn your brains on and think, and use logic and use reason and realize that religion is fake. What's up, people? I know I haven't done a video in quite a while. I have not done a video in a long time. And some of y'all might not even find this video because you done moved on to something else. Who knows? I don't know. But a lot has just been going on in the world, and I was just sitting back watching history. You know, I mean, this is historic, that what we're going through. This is going to be in the books. They're going to look back and talk about this years later, you know. I'm watching it, and it was just a lot of things that happened with the politics that's just ridiculous. And I know I did the videos about the politics, and now I'm just doing this video. I don't know what this video will be. It's I'm just talking, but it's amazing to me what I've witnessed. Not so much in the past 3 years, but in these past few months. With the COVID, the shutdowns, stimulus checks, you know, the racist antics, the trying to destroy democracy in this country, trying to tear it down from the inside. And I believe it was Abraham Lincoln that said that. I'm not trying to edit this video too much, so I'm not going to fact check and all that. Look for yourself. But I believe it was. Don't hold me to it, ball and chain. But that said that America was just set up real good. It couldn't be destroyed from the outside. It had to be destroyed from the inside. And that's exactly what the president is trying to do, is burn it all down. If I can't have it, I'll burn it all down on the way out. And that's what he's doing. And it's like the things that have been done, I never paid attention to this stuff. I didn't care before because nobody ruffled feathers. You know, you had a president, and they were presidential, and that's what happened, and that's what you saw. But this guy comes in, and he's saying things and doing things that even Herman McCain that had even dropped out for something in the same election that Trump won, with all the mess that came out about him. Now it's like, what's the big deal if you've done a bunch of things? It doesn't even matter anymore, because this dude, how much experience you have. Dude had no experience. They got to come in and run the country, and did a horrible job. I'm sorry, did a horrible job. And then you watch, and then the crazy part is the evangelicals, the holy people, supposedly, right, that condemn everybody else for what they do, justified everything this man did. Oh yeah, he did that, they paid the woman off, but he's forgiven. That was in the past, he's forgiven now. God has chosen him. And a lot of the young people have left church because of the hypocrisy of that. I mean, it's just, this is crazy. See, this is what's crazy to me, is like, if you go back in history, y'all know we got George H.W. Bush? Yeah, I think George H.W. Bush, and his father was Prescott Bush. And Prescott Bush was a senator, and he was funded by some wealthy people, you know, like the Rockefellers and the Carnegie and Morgan, J.P. Morgan, others, and they was pretty much, with FDR in office, was going to do the same thing, and they formed a coup to try to take over America, to dethrone the president and the democracy and set up shop. They was going to do that, but it fell through, just like this one will. You know, and nobody talks about that. That this man went on to be the head of the CIA and had his son, George H. Bush, working for the CIA. And then George H. Bush becomes the director of the CIA shortly, but he did it. He was there. Goes on to become vice president and then president. And then his sons, one becomes the governor of Florida, one becomes the governor of Texas, and then one becomes the president of the United States 2 terms. Something he couldn't even do. This is all historic, just falling right out in front of us. But nobody mentions Prescott Bush. And when they try to do what Trump is doing there, you would think one news channel might just be like, you know, this is not the first time this happened. Let's run the tape. But nobody talks about that. I'm just watching it like, I used to wonder like, wow, that's crazy. How could they do that in America? How could they do that? And I sat here and lived right through the same thing. And at the point of this is what, December 18th, my grandmother's birthday, December 18th, and they still talking about trying something else. Now, I know it's done. It's done. They're yipping and yowling and howling and whatever because they're trying to get that money coming in, but from those people that don't understand that there's no lawsuit, there's no way to stop this. It's done. But if they're sending you money, you keep saying, no, it's not done. We're going to do something else because they already, like religion, you can't tell somebody Jesus is not real and they will not receive that. So when you tell them that Trump is not going to be the president, they can't receive that. It's not over. It's the same thing. This whole thing right now with the politics and religion, it is the same thing. And it's so many things across the board that if you went through and looked at them, it's the same thing. Religion is, I would say religion is birthed out of politics. Because you don't just need religion, you need to, you got the politics, but in order to keep people in line with the politics, you gotta have a religion like, we're very important, listen to us before the gods strike you down. But it's about the politics. It's about the politics. It is just crazy to me. I mean, we sitting here watching this in real time. In real time. Oh, this is the other one I wanted to say. That's just like religion. Sports fans. Call it what you want to call it. Sports fans are no different. I mean, in a way, I mean, they still face reality, and I mean, they have to face the hurt that, yeah, we lost that game. Ooh, that was a bad call. They should have called this. They would have called that. We would have won this game and all of that. But, they're dedicated to their team. And when they have their children, they buy their children the same little, the little hat with the logo, their team logo on it, their team logo on their shirts, so that they want their child to grow up and be a fan of the sports team they are a fan of. And I know, so for those of y'all that are really into sports, I can't remember if it was football or basketball. It was a black guy though, and he was at this press conference with his mother, deciding where he was going to go, and she wanted him to go to the school she wanted him to go to. I don't know if it was an alma mater, but she wanted him to go to that school, and he chose another school. And right there at the table in the press conference, she got up and walked away. Your son just got accepted into college to play sports, but because he chose a team that wasn't her team, despite all of that, she got up and walked away mad. It's got to be my school or no school. It's got to be my church or no church. It's got to be my political party or no political party. It's so tribal. It is. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It is so ridiculous, but it's how things have been run. Public opinion matters, whether it's real or not. Public opinion matters. It matters so much that Republicans won't say anything about Donald Trump or go against him. Why? Because if he tweets, and he got 74 million votes, and if he tweets something bad about them people, because he don't have a job in there anymore, he don't care. He don't care what will go on with y'all. But if he tweets and you don't win your spot that next year, he don't care. But because of that, they will say nothing. Reputation. That's what it's all about. So much going on in real time. At this point, it just happened with what do they call it, the PPP stimulus for certain businesses, and you know, there's an uproar right now that Joel Osteen, his church, got $4.4 million for relief. The biggest mega church in the country got $4.4 million for relief. And this is the crazy part to me about that. They don't even have a product. They don't have a product. It's motivational speaking with no guarantees. But I guess they're essential. And like someone said on one of my threads, they said, well, he got 350 employees. So, and like whether he's selling something or not, it's still like it's a business because they got money going through there, but they don't even pay taxes. It's funny how the church play all of that church and state stuff until the benefits fall on the church. Separate church and state, but we don't pay no taxes. We don't render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. We don't pay no taxes. We keep ours. Then on the flip flop, you get money for stimulus when you don't even pay taxes. And you have no product. No product. Boy, the world we live in is crazy. And so, like, I haven't really, like, you know, made videos or did anything because I was just kind of learning. I was sitting back watching, like I said, you know, things I had read about, looked into, and I was watching it happen in real time. It's something when you're seeing it happen, you know, in real time. You know, like sidestepping everything just to be talking. It's like I said, it was my grandmother's birthday. I talked with my grandmother, and I was like, I said, Grandma, you know, I said, you know, I'm seeing life from different perspectives as I get older. And it was like, because I know my mother and my dad's sister, my aunt, were friends. And you know how you're friends and your brother like put me on and all of that, and they put you on and you screw it all up. But that friend is a friend for life. They're not a fly-by-night friend. Some friends are temporary friends. Some friends are gonna be there, and one of y'all gonna be at the other one's funeral. That's how it is. Y'all gonna be friends for life, and that's how they're friends for life. So, you know, my mother and my aunt, they still talk and all of that and what have you. So, and my dad is dead and gone. You know, but that didn't change anything, and they were friends anyway. And her brother dated her friend, and I came out of the deal. win-win, you know what I'm saying? So, but their relationship didn't work out, but that's how that went, right? So, let me get back to what I'm saying here. So on the flip side, now I got 2 new granddaughters. And we was in here chilling one day with my son and his wife with the grandbaby and my daughter here, and they're sitting there all together, and I'm looking at, you know, my son's wife and my daughter together, and they just be loving each other and having good conversation and can hang out, and they're all the same age, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is my mama, and this is how this went. So I wasn't born when my mother and my aunt met each other and all of that other stuff. When they dated, when my dad and mom dated, I didn't see all of that. I'm just a product of that. But then when I'm looking at my granddaughter and then seeing it all backwards, it put myself in her spot, everything changes. I'm like, wow, I get to see both sides of that whole situation. And to me, life is crazy like that. You only get one, live it and enjoy it. Right now, we got to get over whether this pandemic is hoax or not. Guess what? It's happening. And this is another thing. Let me say this right quick. If everything is a conspiracy theory, everything is a conspiracy theory. It's not what it seems to be. But you know about it. But you also can't change it. Wouldn't we just call that the norm? That's just the norm. If you want to change it, it'll change like anything else changes. Slowly, gradually. Many things don't make drastic changes. It happens sometimes, but not often. You know, drastic changes. No. It's the norm. We hate to see the police brutality and police killings, but that's what we're living in. There's a lot of things we don't like to see right now. Homeless people, veterans not being taken care of, but that's the world we live in right now. That's what it is. So everything being a conspiracy theory, what's the big deal if okay, you know about it, but can you change it and make it better for everyone? No, then that's the norm. That's just what it is. Do you think everybody in North Korea might like how it is? They got a dictator. You have to do what he say do, and you can't lead the country, do anything without his permission? You think they might like that? Is it right? But it's the norm. That's what it is. So I used to be all into the conspiracy theories, and people go, well, you know about this, know about that? Yeah, I know about it. And I know about it. A lot of people know about it, but what can we do about it? Nothing. Can't do nothing about it. Because you can't get people to unite. That's the hard part. Whether it's believers and non-believers, or whether it's believers with believers and believers against believers and non-believers against non-believers, it's still hard to get people together to do something. Because everything keeps sectioning off into something else to be divided about. See, first there's one division, then that one division, the cells split. Now it's 2 divisions. Then it splits in the area. As you keep going, it's more and more divisions. And we lose the simplicity of the beginning of how it all started. Case in point. Okay, you don't believe in Jesus? No, I don't believe in Jesus. When Jesus died for your sins, etc., etc., okay. So I just need to believe on Jesus and I'm good. Yeah, just believe on Jesus and I'm good. You good. Okay, all right. I received Jesus. Amen. Hallelujah. All right, now you receive Jesus. All right, now come over, you got to come over here and get baptized. Why? Because that's part of it too. You didn't say that when you just said all I needed to do was receive Jesus. So why do I need to be baptized? Because that's a part of it. Okay, now I got baptized. We cool. Now you got to speak in tongues. You got to be filled with the Holy Spirit until you speak in tongues. What is this? I thought you just said I just need to receive Jesus. Well, yeah, you do, but also you need to be baptized and you need to speak in tongues. Okay, now you I speak in tongues. All right, okay. We cool? All right, well, not just yet. What? You can't be listening to secular music and watching secular TV shows. As we keep going on, you keep sectioning it off more and more and more. Now, you can't wear fingernail polish or makeup. You gotta have your head covered. It's just more. First, all y'all said was just receive Jesus. Then it turns into all of this. Now, it's more than it need to be. I mean, it just don't make sense to me. I mean, none of it, it just don't make sense to me. Watch this. Okay, let me say this real quick too. Especially I'm speaking about that part about the separation is like, we talk about being woke. Like saying, yeah, I'm woke. And we know there are different definitions of the word depending on who's saying it, because when Christians can say woke Christians, you've totally flipped the word to what it's not. You're a tiny giant. You've oxymoronized the word. So, when I hear people say I'm woke, I don't take that to mean as I realize religion is fake and I understand where I come from and all of my history and everything that has happened to my people. It doesn't mean that. It just means I understand that the religion is fake. From there, people choose to go their separate ways. Some tend to just leave religion and they'll put joke memes on their social medias. Joking religion, joking Jesus, and it's not serious. They don't care. So when somebody comes up with all of their scholarly talk to this person, it doesn't mean anything because no matter what you say, they know it's fake. They've just left it. They don't care. Some choose to go into history and learn all of these things to combat with the apologetics world over here, the Christian apologetics, and they want to debate and have discussions and so on and so forth. The facts is going to be the facts. The truth is going to be the truth. The artifacts are the artifacts. But just all of this believing, but you have nothing to show for anything you're talking about, that doesn't stand in court. No. You don't have any facts or artifacts. You want people to believe. And that is done. That's done. So, people, I'm woke. So woke means, so you gonna vote? Your vote don't matter. What you voting for? See, now you're crossing woke into somebody's personal business. Because if they choose to vote or not to vote, that's their right. So there's no need for anyone to make them feel bad because they are participating in the system that works where they live. Or you voting, or you ain't, well, I thought you was woke. What does being woke from religion have to do with me doing what I do as a citizen in my country? Oh, you woke, but you pay taxes? Go work for somebody. They'll take taxes out of your stuff. Or get your own business. You're going to pay taxes. woke or not. That's what you do as a citizen. Has nothing to do with me understanding that Jesus Christ is not real. Me being woke stops at me understanding that religion is fake. Boom, that's woke. Woke don't mean now because so one person say I mean oh, the moon landing is real. The moon landing is fake. The earth is round. The earth is flat. That has nothing to do with the woke. That's outside of woke from what I'm saying. You know, because it's like I've heard my people say, your vote doesn't matter. But yet the governor of Georgia, who was the Secretary of State at the time in charge of votes, which makes no sense why the person running for the office would be in charge of the votes. And of course didn't allow the other candidates, people to vote. He had all the machines and won. Because guess what? Your votes matter. He wouldn't have hid all the machines if your vote didn't matter. Your vote matters so much that they cheat to try to discount your vote. Georgia is in the limelight right now with this runoff. Everybody coming here. This is what they're doing. Why? Because your vote matters. So when Trump comes along and he's supposed to be promoting his party and says, oh, it's all rigged, you know, it's fraudulent, what you voting for? Because look what it did to me. It's fraudulent. And then his own people are really saying, don't y'all listen to him, go vote. Go vote. Why? Because your vote matters. It matters so much that the current president is cheating his way in any shape, form, or fashion to try to win because he did not have the votes. That's how that goes. So far as being woke. And that leads me to my next thing about like holidays. People like, oh, you know, I don't celebrate and start from the beginning of the year. Valentine's Day, but you got a wife, and even if she woke, wives want gifts, and they want to be taken out and treated special. So I don't believer or non-believer. Valentine's Day kind of hard to get around that one. That's a bullet you're gonna have to bite. I'm sorry. That's not even gonna fall under the woke stuff. I know you got some women, the Hebrew Israelite women, they go hard and they saying whatever, but a lot of women, they still want a gift, even if it falls under this pagan holiday. We all pagan, everything pagan. And pagan is not real anyway. So what I'm saying is this: you could deny all these holidays, the 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, whatever it might be, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but this is the deal with that. You can say, I don't celebrate that stuff and I don't mess with that stuff, and that's true, you don't. But your job does, and your job is going to be closed that day. Not everybody, I'm just saying those that do. Your job is going to be closed that day. So you're going to plan, and you know that you're one of the only woke people in your family, so they all still Christians and gonna meet anyway, and gonna have chitlins and pig feet, don't care. So they're gonna do that anyway, and it's still your family anyway, right? So you're gonna set that time up because you got a wife, especially if you're a man, you got a wife, and she wants to see her family, take care of kids and stuff. She want to go see her family. She wants that little bit of relief to go see her family, unwind, before she go back into her cocoon, or taking care of these kids and that life. I'm saying that's just how it is, man. Come on. So you can't be too deep with all the unwoke and what have you. She want that vacation time. You probably want that vacation time, and go see your family because that's your family. That's the only ones you got. So go see them. And you're gonna plan that around being off. Ain't nobody in there fighting. Talking about, I don't celebrate Christmas So boss, I protest and say that you let me work on Christmas because I don't celebrate Christmas. Not gonna work. What you mean we closed on Thanksgiving? We closed on the day they murdered all the indigenous people, and well, I know I desire to work. You will when we open back up after Thanksgiving. So you might as well suck that up too. That's the norm. You ain't gonna change it. So you are the anomaly. When you don't believe in God and all of these things, if you don't believe in God and you're into the conspiracy theories, or whatever one might call them, or different theories, you're always going to be the black sheep. You're always going to be that anomaly because everybody else believes what everybody else believes, and it makes it simple for them. So, I mean, like for me, I know at the Thanksgiving dinner, I hold hands when everybody pray. When we did that, I hold hands when everybody pray. I don't put my head down and I don't close my eyes. I just hold hands with everybody and let them do their prayer. And then I eat. Ain't no need for me coming up in there, God ain't real and all that. It's not time and place. And when people are ready for that, they're ready for that. They ask you something, you can talk to them, but it's not to come into places and try to shut it all down. It's like, I've learned over the years, I kind of changed with my way of doing things. You don't always have to be so vocal depending on where you are, because you didn't change from somebody kicking over tables and saying God ain't real. So why would you think somebody else would? Just because you know now that God ain't real. You just got to put chinks in that armor. You got to keep chipping away at what they believe by asking them questions to make them think. And if they think about it enough, it'll do its own work. Either it's going to be a seed that's going to grow, or it'll just die. Either or, but there's nothing you can do with it. You give them the information, and that's it. So that's how that goes. What else I want to talk about? Let me see. How I want to say that. I was talking about knowing the rule of the game and then defeating them by using those rules. And you know how people do, they can make the rules of a game, but then when you learn the rules and you start to use the rules against them based on the rules that they made, they either kick the board over or they change the rules. And that's how things go in life. And I think the reason why I said this when I did it was because of, again, dealing with politics and about people not being happy about things. And if you're not happy about something to that extent, then, run for a local office. Be on the inside and actually do something. These are the rules. So, and then they of course, it depends on your skin tone, the rules might come against you, right? You already know that anyway, so going in, but learn how the rules work. And then utilize it to the best of your ability. That's with anything in life, pretty much. I mean, you come to a new job, you learn the rules and work things according to the rules. That's all it is. But I've learned a lot during this time about people during this election. This is historic, very historic. I learned a lot about different people. I learned a lot about seeing different Christian folks that supported Trump. I saw, well, how can I say this, black people that I can't say that, well, they don't vote. They don't vote. They don't like Trump, but they dogging Biden. Never say anything about Trump but dogged Biden. And I'm like, so what are you saying? Just let Trump stay in there? I don't understand the message. Well, what's the message you're trying to convey? Because you're kind of leaving the person out in the cold with no coat. What are you getting at? And then when Kamala was picked for vice president, I'm like, oh, watch this. People gonna be happy about this. Oh, Kamala used to be a man. Or Kamala is a man. Oh, she dated Montel Jordan, or Montel Williams. That's one of the singers. You know, it was all this stuff. She ain't really black, because one of her parents is Jamaican, the other one is, you know, South Asian or something. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. So what? She vice president now. Congratulate. This is not the time to hate. Not this time. We just had the whole George Floyd thing and all these things going on, and now we still gonna side against our own. I don't get what is the end game for this? What is the end game of Michelle Obama being Michael Obama and Barack being Barry, and what's the end game? Oh, okay, how does this benefit us? Where are we going with it? Where are we going with this? For what? I don't get it. So we're bashing us for what? What do we get from this? So that means knock your people out and put another white person in? You'd feel better if it was a white person, because you'd say, oh, if they're doing bad stuff, I expect them to do bad stuff, but I don't expect us to do bad stuff. Where are you getting this from? Because I bet half the people you don't trust in your life is on your side, that you done grew up with and you knew and you live and you know not to loan that one money, you know, not to mess with this one like that, and don't let that one use your car, and no, I can't let you come live with me because you ain't gonna leave and all that. That ain't the outside. Them people on your own side, I don't get it. If Kamala's there, support her. Do that. Diversify. I'm just saying, this is what I've seen, and this is a historical time for me. Also, the fact that I had 2 granddaughters born. So a lot been going on. You know, football season going on. I'm watching football. I'm watching news. You know, I'm trying to, you know, just working. And it's hard to do the video sometimes, but I was just learning. I was going through a learning period of just watching history unfold in front of me. 2020, the year that everybody's gonna talk about. I got 2 granddaughters born out of that year. 2. So I can't say it was all bad for me. Honestly, it wasn't the worst year for me. It wasn't, really. It was the worst year for the world, but it wasn't the worst year for me. I've had years way worse than 2020. Way worse than 2020. So, this is historical, man. This joint is done. Right here at the end. So I was just making this video. I know it's all over the place. And I don't think I'm gonna edit it much. I'm just gonna throw it out here. And I'll do what I can do, because like I said, you know, things are lighting up. The election's over. They still, because you're in Georgia, they still calling and texting our phones all day, loading your mailbox up with a bunch of voter crap, everything. Oh my goodness, I'm waiting for that to be over with. But I mean, everything is, I guess everything is normalizing now. You know, the whole Trump thing is dying down. Yo, he trying something, he gonna do something on January 6th. Yeah, the same thing he done on other things, lose. They done with him, we moving on. by your new president. Just gonna accept that, and that's what it is. That's what it is. I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, but I got common sense, and I know when people doing something that's just totally stupid. Totally stupid. You know, so that's what that is. But look at y'all. I just want to drop the video, and I'm out of here. Talk to y'all later. Peace.